Our rules are simple, but the challenge is great. All dinos will be explored in this challenge, but only reasonable underdogs voted on by the community will be considered for grading. Equipped with official server cap saddles, our 19 contenders will be backed by the commanding presence of a loyal Uranus providing that extra boost. All competitors will go into battle with food to provide a healing effect. Herbivores will have plenty of sweet veggie cakes, and carnivores and omnivores will have cooked meat. It's important to note that tames in this series aren't typically used during boss battles because of the amount of mutations you need to make them competitive. But all dinos competing will have around 23,000 health and 1200% melee. This will give them all a fair shot at defeating at least one of the guardians. It won't always be feasible to reach these stats depending on the dinos I'm using, but I'll let you know the amount of mutations and levels it took in order to reach it. All competitors start out with 50 base health and melee and 40 points in everything else before I apply mutations and experience levels. You can decide on your own servers if the juice is worth the squeeze. Competitors are required to fight the megapithecus, broodmother, then dragon on all difficulties, starting with gamma, then beta, finishing with alpha. Their success will be annotated on this scorecard with a pass or fail system. Clearing all the bosses earns them a gold boom medal. Silver is awarded for clearing beta, bronze is for clearing gamma, and the chunk of shit is for an unworthy performance. Once all expansion creatures are finished, the gold medal winners will test their strength against the overseer for the finale. Now let's introduce our competitor and see if they have what it takes. Roll Rat. These disgusting nudists lurch around Aberration and get angry when you touch their gems. They can easily be tamed by chucking honey into their hole and are fantastic at harvesting wood. The stats required for this competition will reach with 15 mutations and 65 experience levels. 0 mutations and 25 levels went into health, and 15 mutations and 40 levels went into melee. I'd like to welcome our newest members and patrons to the channel. To show my thanks, I let them name a competitor for this competition, and I decorated them with some sweet war paint. Say hello to Tanimal, Christina, and Shredder. Now let's see if they have what it takes. The green portal is up and the under-nudists are ready to roll into the Gamma Megapithecus arena and teach these monkeys to mess with their gems. And oh boy, this is bad. The Roll Rat hits for a decent amount, but when controlled by AI, they attack slower than they are capable of. And a surprising amount of them don't attack at all. This is typical with smaller creatures, and I know the Roll Rat is pretty close to the ground, but I didn't expect it to be this bad. Additionally, the collision on the Roll Rat's model is far wider than they physically appear, and it makes them very cumbersome to maneuver. They're able to put down the Gamma Megapithecus, earning a pass, but this isn't a good start. The Gamma Broodmother is up next, and her larger size makes it a bit easier to surround her, but check this out. I left the AI Harvest on for a reason. If your creature harvests plants automatically like the Roll Rat or the Gigantopithecus, then whistling them to move is going to result in them picking berries and ignoring your commands. Be sure to turn it off if you're using them for combat. They do respond to attack commands and they perform a bit better against the Broodmother. Ultimately, they dish out plenty of damage, but even with the sweet veggie cakes, I notice a lot of bloody naked rats. That's a hard-earned pass. The Gamma Dragon is up next, and sure as shit, they can't land shots. I was kinda worried about this fight, and it doesn't take long before they start dropping like flies. The Roll Rat just can't get close enough to avoid being hit, and more than half of them never attack. Good old Shredder and Christina are dropped pretty early, and the rest fight on with hopes to avenge them. I will say that if you watched the beginning of this video, there were 0 mutations and 15 levels put into health. If for some reason you do use these guys for boss fights, I'd highly recommend coming in with as much health as possible, but the only way I see it being successful is if they have riders. The AI just doesn't do this tame or many like it the justice that they deserve. Tanimal is the last to go, and I leap into the lava river out of embarrassment for the under-nudist. That's a fail. Blue portal time means beta time, and the Beta Megapithecus is up next. If there's one creature these guys can have success with at the beta and alpha stage, it's this guy, right? I was hoping that the increased speed that the Megapithecus has at these stages would help the under-nudists surround him better, and it kind of did. But they're pretty girthy and are able to pin him down pretty easy. One method that could help with the Roll Rat is assigning them to different groups and leaving some in reserve. But I found that it just causes a lot of chaos, especially in the Megapithecus fights. The arena is just so small and you run the risk of your rats getting knocked off the edge from the Gigantopithecus ads. The raunchy rats are able to get it done though, and earn a pass. The Beta Broodmother is up next, and I really wanted these guys to win so I could see the Alpha Broodmother. I really wanted to deliver a freshly shaved girthworm. I just needed the Roll Rat to deliver. The crazy thing about the Roll Rat is most herbivores always stand a chance because of the sweet veggie cakes. I'm not sure if these guys just eat them less frequently or what, but they were getting toasted left and right. This fight actually went on for a while before I started recording. I promise they didn't just start dying at first contact. The cave for the Beta Broodmother turned out to be cold because the under-nudists were shriveled up and unable to get it up. They were soundly defeated and handed another fail. Red portal time means alpha time, and the alpha megapithecus is up next. It's been a rough competition so far, and I'd have to rate this in the top 5 for surprises. There have been so many days over the years where I watched roll rats on aberration and I thought that they were hot shit. They're pretty intimidating in the early game, and they soundly crush random raptors and stuff that bother them. By the time you're ready to tame one, you usually already have a chainsaw, so there's no real utility to necessity to owning one of them. I had a firm prediction that these guys were going to easily pull off a silver boom medal at a minimum. They easily pin the alpha megapithecus down, and they're able to completely dominate the fight for a while. Several of them do wind up getting killed, but the alpha megapithecus just can't handle the furious foreskins, and he's put to sleep, capping off the night with a pass. Heading over to the scoreboard, the under-nudists are awarded a hot, steamy chunk of doo-doo for a horrible performance. Believe me, I'm just as shocked and disappointed as most of you, but hey, we're gonna find things like this occasionally. This certainly isn't the first one that went this way. I wanted to thank those of you that have signed up as members and patrons. Your support has been unbelievable, and I can't thank you enough. If you're new to the channel, hop in on my stream on Saturday nights around 8 p.m. Eastern Time. It's a great time, and I can't wait to see you there. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.